Ladies, I ain't talking about no 50 shades of foolishness. I'm talking real love. Not what he do to you in bed, but what he do for you in bed. See, when a man truly loves a woman, it don't start with passion, it starts with presence. So let me break this down for you. If he does this in bed, his love is real. And I got 4 things to prove it. Now listen here, ladies, let me break something down that too many people out here don't seem to understand. It's not just about what a man does when things are hot and heavy. It's about what he does after. And I ain't talking about no tricks or moves. I'm talking about what happens when the lights go dim, the adrenaline settles, and it's just you, him, and silence. That's where you see the difference between a man who wants you and a man who loves you. See, any man can work up a sweat. Any man can show up for the fun part. That ain't special. But a man who stays with you in the quiet, that man is showing you something different. That man is telling you without words, I'm here. I ain't just here for the show. I'm here for you. If he holds you after the moment is over, if he pulls you in instead of pulling away, that's a sign. I don't care how macho he is. I don't care how many muscles he's flexing. A man who loves you wants to feel you close, even when there's nothing left to prove. No ego, no performance, just presence. You ever lay next to someone and feel like you're lying there alone? That's because they came for the moment, but not for the meaning. When a man loves you, your body ain't the only thing he touches. He wants to hold your heart. And sometimes he does that by just being still with you. That moment when he pulls you into his arms, tucks your head under his chin, runs his hand down your back slow, not to start round 2, but just to say, I got you. That's what love feels like. Love ain't loud all the time. Sometimes love is quiet, still. Now I know some of y'all got used to the runner, the man who finishes and gets up like he just clocked out of a shift, grabs his phone, checks the game, goes to the kitchen like he don't even know you're still lying there wondering what just happened. Let me tell you right now, that man might enjoy your company, but he ain't trying to carry your soul. A man in love don't move like that. He don't just roll over. He holds on. Holding someone after intimacy might sound small, but it speaks volumes. It says you matter. It says this moment wasn't just for me. It says I'm here, I'm staying. That's reassurance in its purest form. He don't have to say a word. His arms do the talking. You're wrapped up, your heart's beating steady, and in that moment you feel something deeper than physical. You feel chosen, you feel safe. Ladies, if that man lies there and rubs your back, kisses your forehead, lets you breathe on his chest while the room settles, that man sees you as more than pleasure. He sees you as peace. That's the difference. And listen, I know some of y'all have been with men who only touched you when they wanted something, but a man who loves you touches you to give you something. Comfort, warmth, protection. Real love shows up when there's nothing left to gain. And I ain't saying the man got to whisper poetry and stroke your hair like he in a romance novel. I'm saying you'll know he's connected to your soul when he don't disappear after the moment is done, when he lingers, when he holds you like he don't want to lose you, like he's not in a rush to get away from you. That kind of love don't come cheap, and it sure don't. And men, if you're listening, if you got a woman you love, don't let her fall asleep feeling alone. That woman just gave you the most intimate part of herself. That's not just her body, that's her trust. So hold her. Make sure she knows you value her. Make sure your presence says you're not just a moment. So yeah, if he holds you after, if he stays and lets the silence speak, if he creates a space where you feel safe and soft and seen, baby girl, that man loves you. His love is real. And that's a whole different level of intimacy. Let me tell you something about men and love, and I want you to hear me good. When a man truly loves a woman, he ain't just showing up for her good days. He ain't just complimenting her when she looks fine in that dress or cheering when she's got her confidence high and her smile wide. No, the real test of love is when things ain't perfect. When she's quiet, when she's off, when something's weighing on her heart and she don't even have the strength to fake it. See, that's when you find out what kind of man you really got. If he listens when you're vulnerable, when you're cracked open and raw, and doesn't rush to fix it, brush it off, or silence you, that's real love. That's a man who ain't afraid of your feelings. That's a man who's not intimidated by your emotions. That's a man who sees your heart as something valuable, not something that needs to be managed. You know how many women are out here lying in bed next to a man and still feeling completely alone? Too many. She's staring up at the ceiling, thinking about her job, her family, her insecurities, her future, and he's right there, snoring or scrolling or dismissing every ounce of what's going on in her spirit. And then you got that one man, the rare one, who turns over and says, "Talk to me." Now that right there, that's not just a man. That's a partner. That's somebody who's choosing you even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. See, love ain't just about how loud he moans your name or how tight he holds you. Love is quiet sometimes. Love says, "I see you struggling and I'm not going anywhere." Love is when a man's presence becomes a safe place for you to fall apart. That's what listening does. It tells a woman, "You can fall here, I'll catch you." A real man understands that vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength, it's bravery. When a woman opens up to you late at night, when she says, "I don't feel like myself lately," or "I'm scared I'm not enough," that's not drama, that's trust. That's her peeling back her armor and saying, "This is the real me. Can you love this too?" And if a man can sit with that, no rushing, no fixing, no turning away, that's real love. Not fair weather love, not highlight reel love, real love. Some of y'all think love is all about big gestures, roses, dinners, weekend getaways. That's cute. But let me tell you something. When it's 2 a.m. and she's crying because she don't feel seen and you hold her hand and say, "Baby, I'm here. Tell me what's on your heart." That's worth more than all the flowers at the florist. Because that's the stuff that builds marriages, not just moments. A woman will always remember how a man made her feel in her most fragile moments, when her mascara's running, when her voice is shaking, when her chest feels heavy with the weight of everything she's carrying. If you can show up in that moment, if you can say, "I want all of you, not just the happy parts," then you've given her more than a good night. You've given her security. And let me tell you something else. Women aren't always asking you to fix it. They just want to be heard. They want to say what's on their mind without being told to calm down or stop overthinking. They want to feel like their emotions are allowed to exist in your presence. That's what listening is. Not waiting for your turn to talk, not giving advice you didn't ask for, just being present, just holding space. That's how you know a man is in love, when he gives you his ears before his opinions. When he's not trying to win the argument, but trying to understand the wound. When he stays up even though he's tired, just to hear your voice get lighter as you talk. That's love. That's what women deserve. So, fellas, I'm going to talk to you too. If you got a woman in your life who trusts you enough to be vulnerable with you, don't you ever take that lightly. Don't you dare roll over and ignore her when she says, "Can I talk to you about something?" Don't make her regret opening up to you. Be her peace, be her ear, be her comfort in a world that keeps trying to make her feel like she's too much or not enough. Because love ain't proven in the highs, it's proven in the lows. When she's not smiling, when she's not strong, when she's lying in bed with her thoughts spinning, your response is what tells her everything she needs to know about your love. If you stay, if you listen, if you hold her through the storm and say, "You don't have to go through this alone," then brother, you're not just making love, you're being loved. Let me tell y'all something that don't get said enough. Real love respects boundaries. That's right. A man who truly loves you will never cross a line you ain't comfortable with. He ain't gonna guilt trip you, beg you, or pressure you into doing something that don't feel right to your spirit. That ain't love, that's control. And control wrapped in sweet words is still manipulation. But a man who loves you, that man will slow down. He will listen. He will honor your no the same way he celebrates your yes. See, here's the thing about real men. They understand that intimacy without trust is just an act. It might look the same on the outside, but it don't feel the same on the inside. When a man is in it for real, he ain't just chasing pleasure. He's protecting your peace. He's making sure you feel safe, heard, respected, especially when the bedroom door closes and the lights go out. That's where you really learn who you're dealing with. Some women out here been through so much, they flinch when they say no because they've had men turn cold on them, act like they owed something. Baby, you don't owe nobody your body. Not for love, not for approval, not even for attention. And a man who truly sees your worth will never make you feel like you're on trial for protecting yourself. He'll respect your limits, your timing, your voice, and not just when it's easy, especially when it's not. Now, some of y'all might say, "But Steve, what if he gets frustrated?" Let me tell you something. Frustration ain't a free pass to disrespect. We all got feelings, we all got wants, but grown men know how to sit with their desires without throwing a tantrum. A man in love don't throw shade just because you're not ready for something. He doesn't pout or pull away or get silent on you. You know what he does? He leans in. He says, "It's okay. I want you, not just the moment." Let me break it down for you like this. Love doesn't rush. Lust rushes. Pressure rushes. But love can wait. Love says, "You're worth the wait. Your comfort matters to me more than the clock or the calendar." A man who wants you for real knows that trust is earned, not demanded. And if you tell him, "I need more time," and he backs off with kindness instead of complaint, you better recognize that for what it is. That's character. That's a man with discipline. That's a man who wants a connection, not just a conquest. And listen, I ain't just talking about saying no to sex. I'm talking about any boundary you set. Emotional, physical, spiritual. You might say, "I'm not ready to talk about that," or "I need space tonight," or I don't want to be touched right now. A man who loves you doesn't get defensive when you protect yourself. He gets attentive. He says, "Thank you for telling me. I'm here when you're ready." Because see, real love don't just honor your body, it honors your voice. I know some women have never had that. Some of y'all been taught that pleasing a man means ignoring your own needs. You've been told that love means sacrifice, and sacrifice means silence. But I'm here to tell you right now, that ain't it. That ain't love. That's performing. And it's exhausting. You deserve a man who makes you feel powerful and protected. A man who makes space for your boundaries without making you feel bad for having them. Men, if you love her, respect her no. Because every time you honor that no, You're building trust. You're telling her this is your space too. And when she trusts you, oh, you're going to get a version of her that's deeper, freer, more loving than anything you've ever seen. But it starts with respect. It starts with being a man she ain't afraid to be honest with, a man she can tell the truth to, even when the truth is not tonight. And don't think for 1 second that this is about being soft. Respecting boundaries doesn't make you weak. It makes you a king. It takes strength to hold back. It takes maturity to say, I value her peace more than my pride. And when you lead with respect, you open the door to real intimacy, not the kind that fades when the thrill is gone, the kind that deepens over time, the kind that builds homes, not just hookups. So yeah, if a man honors your boundaries, even in bed, even when it's hard, that's love. Because real love sees your comfort as just as important as his desire. That man ain't there to take, he's there to share. And that right there is what separates a man who's passing through from a man who plans to stay. Now let me tell you something that separates a man who just lays with you from a man who covers you. I'm talking about something deeper than passion, something more powerful than words. If a man prays with you, or even for you, without you asking, without it being some holiday routine, that man sees you on a level way beyond the physical. He's connected to your soul, not just your skin. Because a man who will go to God for you is a man who understands that love ain't just about what happens between the sheets. Love is spiritual, it's sacred. It's about protection, direction, and connection. See, it's easy for a man to touch your body, real easy. What ain't easy is finding a man who wants to touch heaven on your behalf. A man who says, before I lead you into anything, let me ask God to guide me. That ain't common. That's rare. That's a man who knows that love isn't about control, it's about covering. And you don't cover a woman by standing over her. You cover her by standing with her in prayer, in peace, in patience. There's something powerful when you hear a man say, baby, let's pray before we sleep. In that moment, he's telling you, I don't just want us to feel good, I want us to be good. Spiritually good, mentally good, emotionally covered. He's saying, I care about your soul more than I care about your curves. That kind of man don't just want your Friday nights, he wants you forever. He's thinking long term. He's thinking about your purpose, your future, your heart. And it don't even have to be some long, deep, eloquent speech. It could be as simple as him reaching over, grabbing your hand in the dark and saying, Lord, thank you for her. Protect her. Give her peace tonight. That's it. That one moment speaks louder than 1,000 compliments because it shows you where he's putting his faith. It shows you that he sees loving you as a responsibility, not just a reward. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When a man loves you for real, he wants to see every part of you safe. He wants to protect your heart, your body, your mind, and most importantly, your spirit. He knows life is hard. He knows you're carrying things you don't always talk about. And if he's a praying man, he knows he can't fix everything with his own hands, so he lifts it up to something greater. That's love. That's wisdom. That's humility. Now, some women ain't never experienced that. Some of y'all have been with men who roll over and go to sleep without saying a word. You're feeling heavy, anxious, unsettled, and he's out cold like it's nothing. But then you meet a man who says, before you drift off, let me speak peace over you. That hits different. That stays with you because it makes you feel seen. It makes you feel valued on the inside, not just admired on the outside. And let's be real. Not every man grew up knowing how to pray out loud. Not every man feels comfortable with it. But when a man steps out of his comfort zone to show you that he wants God involved in y'all's relationship, that's bold. That's leadership. That's a man saying, I don't just want to impress you, I want to build something with you that lasts. Fellas, if you love her, don't let her carry all the spiritual weight. She's praying over the kids, over the bills, over her own fears, and then still trying to love you with whatever strength she's got left. If she's your woman, your queen, your partner, step up, be the one who says, we're in this together, let's take it to God together. Even if it's awkward at first, even if it's just a few words, it matters. Throw something solid between you. And ladies, if you find a man like this, don't take that lightly. Don't overlook it. You might think it's no big deal that he sends you a prayer text in the morning or that he says grace over your food, but that man is showing you how he loves. And he's not just loving you with what he sees, he's loving you with vision. He's trying to lead you with his spirit, not just his status. That's the kind of love that holds up when the storms hit. Because look, life's going to throw things at you. Y'all going to face stuff, bills, loss, stress, doubt. But when you got someone beside you who'll say, let's not fight this alone, let's pray together, you're already halfway to the victory. That kind of connection, that's priceless. That's the kind of love that don't fade. That's the kind of love that lasts.